お前らを超えて海賊王になる男だ。
Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. As you all know, the Straw Hat Pirates have been traveling the seas for several years now, getting stronger and growing both physically and mentally. What you don't know is that the author has already revealed the sad ending of the Straw Hat Pirates' journey, in which they failed to achieve their dreams, and I'm going to reveal it to you in today's video. So, click the like button, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Comment who your favorite Straw Hat Pirate is, and which power or fighting style you'd like to have. Now let's get to the video. Guys, for those who don't remember, a few years ago, Oda has been gradually revealing the future of the Straw Hats through questions from fans, and he's already revealed the future ages of many of them. Even better, Oda revealed what they would be like in the future, including whether they achieved their dreams or not. He showed us the appearance of the Straw Hat Pirates at 2 ages, 40 years old and also 60 years old. For those who don't know, I've already posted a video on the channel revealing their fates in case everything went well, which is the video currently appearing on your screen. As we already saw in the previous video, the futures where everything went right, today we'll explore the sad future where everything went wrong. After all, if something bad happens to the Straw Hats, it would affect all of them, and Oda showed us how they would end up afterward. Starting with our swordsman, Zoro. At 40 years old, in the future where everything went wrong, he seems to have aged and is out of shape. His face is rounder, with deep expression lines, giving him a tired and neglected look. He's balding in the middle, with only a part of his green hair still present on the sides and the back of his head. He has a somewhat silly expression, laughing in a relaxed and careless way. He mentions that holding the katana in his mouth now makes his back hurt, suggesting he no longer has the same vigor and is suffering the effects of aging and lack of physical care. He's also missing several teeth, which contributes to the image of someone who hasn't taken care of himself over time and no longer trains or fights. At 60 years old, Zoro appears even more deteriorated. His head is completely bald on top, with just a few strands of gray hair on the sides. His beard and mustache are gray and disheveled, highlighting his aging even more. The skin on his face is saggy and heavily wrinkled. He now looks defeated and humiliated, with a desperate expression. His eyes are half closed, and his mouth is partially open, conveying an attitude of submission and helplessness. Zoro now says, "I'll bow to you if you just give me a little money," marking a significant change in behavior. The once proud swordsman, who never accepted surrender, now finds himself begging for financial help, showing a great fall in his self-esteem and values. Now let's talk about Nami. At 40 years old, Nami still maintains a slim figure, but her face reflects stress and frustration. She has a furious and aggressive expression, with her mouth open, yelling, and her teeth showing. Her eyebrows are furrowed in anger. Her hair is still orange, but she's wearing a bandage on her forehead, suggesting she's frequently involved in dangerous or confrontational situations, likely when she's demanding money owed to her. Nami seems to be in a situation of aggressive debt collection, demanding money. Her hand is raised in an authoritative gesture, and she's leaning forward, increasing the sense of pressure. In the image, she's shouting, "I'm telling you to hand over the money," which indicates she may be involved in questionable or desperate activities to get money. At 60 years old, Nami has undergone a more noticeable transformation. She's much more aged, with deep lines on her face, sagging cheeks, and a tired expression. Her hair is visibly lighter and tied in a messy bun. She looks much more relaxed compared to the 40-year-old version, but in a defeated sense, with a dishonest smile on her face. She appears with a sarcastic and deceptively friendly expression, holding a cigarette between her fingers. Her posture is more relaxed, but there's a suggestion that she's involved in questionable activities, likely as a seller of something suspicious, as indicated by her words. Now, at 60 years old, Nami says, "Don't you want to buy some of my magic pot?" suggesting she's trying to sell something shady, perhaps in a desperate attempt to earn money through illegal or dishonest means. This attitude contrasts with her previous aggressiveness, now becoming more manipulative. At 40 years old, Sanji is clearly more careless. His hair is still blonde but disheveled and completely covering his eyes, a typical characteristic of him. His beard has grown, but irregularly, with patches on his chin, indicating he no longer takes care of his appearance as he used to. He seems more relaxed and indifferent. His mouth is slightly open, revealing a few crooked teeth, and there's a sense of neglect in his posture. Sanji shows a total lack of interest in the quality of the food, something very different from his usual behavior as a passionate and demanding chef. He states, "As long as it fills the belly, all food is the same," which suggests he has lost his passion for the art of cooking and now only cares about basic survival, ignoring the refinement he used to defend. At 60 years old, Sanji has a much more intimidating appearance. He has gained a more muscular and robust physique with hardened features. His blonde hair is much longer, but now tied back more neatly, revealing a serious and grim expression. There are scars on his face, indicating that he has been through intense battles over the years. He also wears a mask with the number 3, possibly referencing his codename Stealth Black from Germa 66, suggesting he has re-embraced his past as part of Germa. The phrase, "drain the poison into the sea," suggests that he is involved in a radical action, perhaps becoming more pragmatic and ruthless. He seems less concerned with the consequences of his actions, reflecting a significant change from a man who once prioritized the lives and well-being of others, especially women. Now let's talk about Usopp. At 40 years old, Usopp has longer, fuller hair tied back in a messy ponytail. His hair appears a bit more unkempt, suggesting a more laid-back appearance. He has a calm expression with a confident smile. His face is slightly fuller compared to his younger self, with some wrinkles beginning to show, especially around his eyes and mouth. His posture is relaxed, lightly gesturing with his hand as he claims that Luffy is his disciple, reflecting that he has gone back to living through lies. At 60 years old, Usopp has long, completely white hair. The color change reflects the passage of time, but the length and volume show that he has really let himself go. He now sports a thick white beard and mustache, giving him an older, more worn appearance. He now seems like nothing more than a drunken old man. In the image, we see him sitting in a relaxed manner, arms crossed and a confident smile on his face, calmly claiming that Zoro is his disciple, continuing to lie about his past. Now let's talk about Chopper. He still has his signature horns, but they appear larger and more robust, signaling a more mature and imposing form. However, Chopper's face is more severe and marked. There are visible scars on his skin, one of which is covered by an X-shaped bandage on his cheek. His expression is one of irritation, with clenched teeth and furrowed brows, conveying a more aggressive and serious temperament compared to his younger self. He is wearing a black jacket with a purple lining, suggesting a darker, more threatening style. The raised collar and withdrawn posture give the impression of someone who has emotionally distanced himself from his former relationships. He says, "Straw Hat, don't mention that name in front of me," suggesting that he harbors resentment or has distanced himself from Luffy and the crew, reflecting a drastic change in his attitude. At 60 years old, his horns have grown even more, becoming a central part of his appearance with more intricate and curved shapes, emphasizing his transformation into an imposing and frightening creature. He now has a completely ferocious and intimidating expression. His mouth is open, revealing sharp teeth, and his brows are furrowed in a threatening glare. His face is covered by a thick layer of fur, giving him a monstrous appearance. Chopper has become extremely muscular and bulky. He is wearing a torn white shirt, highlighting the size of his body, which now seems to have transformed into a more beastly and brutish figure. He appears to have adopted a more brutal and aggressive demeanor, becoming more of a monster than the lovable doctor he once was. He says, "Bring me the sacrifice," a huge contrast with his former self, showing that he seems to have embraced a much more wild and hostile personality over the years. Meanwhile, Robin, at 40 years old, has long graying hair tied in a ponytail. The hair, still voluminous, is now starting to show signs of aging, with gray streaks mixed with her black hair. She has some wrinkles around her eyes and mouth, suggesting the onset of middle age. However, her expression is relaxed, with a slight smile on her face. Her eyes hold a certain mischief or sarcasm, highlighted by the phrase, "My books? I threw them all away," which contradicts her original nature as a lover of knowledge. She is casually smoking, which may suggest that her lifestyle has changed to something more rebellious and carefree. Robin, who was always cautious and reserved, seems to have adopted a more irresponsible attitude and has become someone who gave up. At 60 years old, Robin's hair is much shorter and completely gray, marking a significant transition in her appearance, now fully showing the passage of time. Her face is much more wrinkled, especially around her eyes and mouth. However, she maintains a wide, confident smile. Her eyes convey a mix of sharpness and disdain, perhaps reflecting an even more hardened version of herself. On the other hand, the one who changed the most was Franky. At 50 years old, he has become a robot. We see that he wears a helmet with a metallic blue crest resembling a fin. The helmet is stylized and looks like an extension of his cybernetic head. Franky has a highly robotic appearance, with dark glasses or yellow visors covering his eyes, suggesting technological evolution in the design of his face. He has a strong chin and a metallic mouth. His body seems to be highly modified with a fully robotic appearance. He displays large metallic shoulders and arms with red details on his joints. He has the symbol BF50 stamped on the crest of his head, marking this version of Franky. The phrase, "I must eliminate all ships in this robo-world," implies a change in his programming, possibly with a focus on destroying ships, further proving that he has become a robot. What changes at 70 years old is that Franky transforms into a full-fledged warship. His entire body now resembles an armored ship with cannons and sails. He has several weapons and cannons at the front and sides, suggesting that he is fused with a ship. The sails include a large BF-70, signaling his current version. Although his head is still visible, it seems to be a small part of the overall ship design. He still has the same yellow glasses or visors. The phrase, "I am OL Battleship Gramkey," implies that he has adopted an older, perhaps more eccentric persona, referring to himself as Gramkey, a combination of Grandpa and Franky. Finally, we have the captain, Luffy. He still has his iconic, messy, spiky black hair. His hairstyle is familiar and similar to his youth, but it appears a bit thicker, messier, and fuller. Luffy, at 40 years old, looks older but not mature. We see an increase in his weight, a scruffy beard, and some visible scars on his face, showing the signs of battles and experiences over the years. He still maintains a confident and carefree smile, but now it seems like he no longer cares about achieving anything, with a tired expression. He says something that suggests becoming the Pirate King is now just a dream. At 60 years old, Luffy seems to have adopted a more relaxed and uncommitted approach to life. We see him talking about meat, but this time, it seems like he just eats what others bring him. However, on the bright side, he sounds like a playful grandfather, maintaining a bit of his carefree personality. These are the Straw Hats in a future where things didn't go very well for them. What did you think? Which version do you prefer? That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.